Hi, my name's Chantelle and I'm the Library Digital Services Coordinator at Newman University. My reason to be cheerful is Zoom, or more precisely Zoom channels. Yes, I'm sure we have all complained about Zoom or virtual meetings over the past 18 months, and I thoroughly hold my hand up and say that's me as well. But here's my couple of minutes on why personally Zoom has saved my sanity just a little bit. So a date that I don't think many of us will ever forget, March 2020. At the beginning of the pandemic, I'll be honest with you, I was quite happy to be working from home so that I didn't have to chat to my office colleagues on a daily basis, as to be honest, I didn't really have the time for it. I was at home, homeschooling my 4 and 7-year-old children. I was implementing access to numeracy resources. I was updating our library website and setting up a click and visit service. Honestly, the list could have gone on and on. But as the months drifted past, my colleagues and myself really began to miss the general day-to-day interactions with each other. Yes, we were Zoom calling when we had meetings, but you can't really Zoom call someone just to say, good morning or hope you're doing all right. Many of us were really starting to feel quite isolated. We felt disconnected from others' work projects, and it really felt that asking colleagues for help and support on really trivial issues was simply quite hard work in itself. The summer went by, and then in September 2020, the children eventually went back to school, which, from my perspective, the little smiley face on this sunshine says it all. What we did in September 2020 was set up a Zoom channel for our library service support team. If you've not used one before, and if you're old enough, think back to the 1990s in the days of MSN Messenger. We were able just to chat to each other in a group. A little, did you have a nice weekend? Or, how are you feeling after your vaccine? We used it to be able to discuss work queries really easily as well, asking if someone knew where a certain invoice was kept. It was just a really quick and simple way to communicate with each other. As well as staff using it at home, staff who were working on campus used it as well, and it meant that there was no disconnect between people working on and off campus. We were all united. Zoom channels, as it happened, that we found out, can actually be used for lots of other things. So it's a quick way of being able to share files between your group or direct video call all members within that group instead of having to schedule a meeting and then send details to all the participants. Literally with one click of a button, you can just call everybody at the same time. If you don't want to type, you can even just send them an audio message of just you talking. So in summary, our team Zoom channel did indeed go some way to restoring my sanity in 2020. Yes, I am still working from home in a playroom that is filled with Lego and filled with board games, but I don't feel isolated or disconnected from my colleagues. In a world where everything has been so far from normal, a little few words typed on the screen has meant we've been able to have normal conversations and normal interactions with each other. And that's why Zoom has become my reason to be cheerful. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Karen Jackson and I'm an Academic Support Manager at the University of Warwick, and these are my reasons to be cheerful. It has been a challenging and unexpected few months, and it's tempting to focus on the difficulties that we have faced and overcome. But reflecting on my experience, I can see a lot of reasons to be cheerful. These are my top 5 reasons. Number 1, a better work-life balance. Working from home has enabled me to keep much better domestic order. Being able to peg washing out in a screen break or to do some washing up has helped home life to run a lot more smoothly, and it feels like a good use of break time to do something productive but away from the screen. And it's an incentive to stand up and stretch, to go and do something domestically productive. Number 2, discovering the local area. Being forced to stay at home in the early days of lockdown encouraged us to think creatively about trying to put some variety into our daily exercise and our daily routines. So we went on lots of different walks and we discovered local parks and nature reserves that we didn't know existed, which gave us a slightly new appreciation for the place that we live and the things that you can do there. Number 3, moral support for troubled teenagers. I have 2 teenage daughters, one who was doing finals and one who was doing GCSEs during lockdown, and they were really struggling with the stress and anxiety that the uncertainty and the difficult situation had put them in. Being based at home enabled me to focus obviously on my work, but also to be around to offer moral support when needed. And it helped us to bond together as a family as we adjusted to the difficult situation and getting used to all of that. Number 4, a sense of common purpose. I think when libraries closed and we all went home, we had a real sense of common purpose. We were acutely aware of the difficulties that the students were facing and the needs that they had for resources and access to things to help them succeed in their studies. All of our resources in terms of time and money were focused on this one goal. And it reminded us, if we needed reminding, of what we're really here for and what the library's key mission is, which is to support students in their studies and to provide them with the resources they need. And the students really appreciated it, and we had lots of thankful messages, and it helped us all, again, to bond together as a team in supporting a common goal. Number 5, levelling the playing field, or nearly levelling the playing field. Services and approaches that have been requested by distance learners over a number of years and which were deemed to be too resource intensive or too complicated to put into place have now been implemented for all students. They're effective, they're really well liked, and we now have much less difference between our offer for distance learners and our offer for home students. And we've bridged that gap, which has been something that we've been aware of for some time. And COVID and the working from home has given us the opportunity to do that. So on balance, I think there is a lot of reason to be very cheerful and to be very optimistic. And I feel very optimistic about the fact that we have changed the way that we work forever, and that is a good thing for us and for our students. It's probably fair to say that in the past there has been some suspicion, particularly at senior levels, around what working from home was really for and how productive somebody could really be when they were working at home. And this past 18 months has really proved that you can work at home as effectively as you can work anywhere. And I think we will change the way that we work permanently for the benefit of everybody. And I'm really optimistic and looking forward to thinking of new ways of working in the future to benefit us and our users. And thank you for listening.
Hi, my name is David Malloy and I'm a team leader at the Hive, and I am here today to tell you about the Hive's Staff Wellbeing Project. As we all know, the last 18 months have been tough. To support our staff through these difficult times, we embarked on a staff wellbeing project. With the support of Worcester University and in line with NHS guidance, we established that there are 5 ways to increase wellbeing: to connect, to keep learning, to be active, to take notice and to give. We use these 5 principles to send out helpful emails each Wednesday in what became known as Wellbeing Wednesday. We also paired up members of staff and encouraged them to spend an hour taking part in an activity that they enjoyed. For example, we had staff spend an hour feeding swans healthy food, we had staff take part in the Couch to 5K, and we had staff hold a jam guitar session on Zoom. We also established a team of wellbeing champions who work collaboratively with the team to increase participation. The whole team shared resources that they found beneficial to their well-being, such as yoga videos, deep breathing tutorials, happiness podcasts, and many, many more. We displayed all of our resources on a well-being wall, which contained well-being tips, mental health advice, photos from our wellbeing activities, a pocket to share vouchers, and a staff shout-out box where the team could compliment their colleagues on things that they had achieved. We also shared all of this information on our own collaborative and interactive wellbeing website. Beyond this, we completed one-off activities such as grow your own plants from seeds, guess the baby photos, and we also held quizzes in the staff kitchen. Feedback from staff has been positive. They have reported feeling lucky to work for such a supportive employer. They have enjoyed getting to know more about their colleagues, and for staff working from home, it has helped them feel more connected to the library. For more information, please contact the library at hiveadminteam@worcestershire.gov.uk asking for David Malloy. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.
The higher education site is a part of Cambridge's long-term strategy to move to a fully digital teaching and learning experience for our customers, and was in a planning phase when the COVID-19 pandemic began. The intent behind creating the site has always been to provide support for successful teaching and learning journeys in today's educational environment. Accessibility is vital to our mission, and we recognise that delivering accessible content has a far-reaching impact. Improving the user experience for users who do not or are unable to use a monitor, mouse or keyboard when accessing digital content not only offers a platform for them to achieve their academic goals, but also benefits the entire community, allowing fresh points of view to be added to fields of study that otherwise would be inaccessible and unavailable to all. The HE website allows libraries to subscribe to Cambridge's digital textbooks seamlessly, and all textbooks within the institution subscription have unlimited concurrent users. There is an option for guest access on desktop devices should a user want only to read the content to which their institution subscribes. Librarians have highlighted a requirement for more granular engagement data on HE products. What is considered engagement data? This is a component of wider learning analytics that libraries, instructors and institutions in general might want to know in order to measure learning outcomes and to assess the value of digital HE products. We are currently working with librarians to look at the most useful engagement data, for example, the number of readers, the hours spent with content, number of annotations, and so on. We want to ensure that librarians are receiving a full, clear picture of their subscriptions to the HE website, and by using panel research and market feedback, this data will be brought to life soon. As we continue to make improvements to the higher education website, we work with librarians, students and instructors to shape what comes next. In the near future, we are looking to improve our digital textbook experience by providing enriching and valuable content within the e-reader via widgets. We will also be working hard to provide integration with learning management systems and virtual learning environments to ensure that access to our digital textbooks is as easy as possible for students.
Hello everyone, my name is Michael Hart and I'm currently splitting my time between two job roles in library services at the University of Birmingham. For half the week I'm an e-resources and serials specialist, and for the other half I'm the library engagement advisor for the College of Social Sciences. It goes without saying that the last 18 months or so have been a challenging time for us all, both at work and in our personal lives, but amid the fear and uncertainty I've found many reasons to be cheerful and hope that you have too. The most significant reason is that I became a first-time father to a son in August 2020. Although having a child in a pandemic was not what my wife and I had planned, and restrictions prevented me from attending scans and appointments, working from home has enabled me to spend more time with my son than I would have been able to otherwise. Rather than missing important milestones like the first crawl or wave, I've been at home to see them during break times and lunch times. I've been able to play with him more, talk to him more, and read to him more. And I was also there to support my wife while she was on maternity leave. Working from home is itself a reason to be cheerful. I know that it doesn't suit everyone, but it suits me perfectly, and I'd happily work from home forever given half the chance. In normal circumstances, I'd be wasting 2 hours a day travelling to and from the office by train. After shoehorning myself into a carriage and getting annoyed at all the very important business people shouting into their phones, I'd be arriving at work already stressed and wanting to lie down in a dark room. By contrast, my morning and evening commutes are now much more peaceful, requiring nothing more than walking up or down the stairs. I have time to eat breakfast, put a load of washing in, and maybe even watch an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond. Like many others during the pandemic, I've also had the opportunity to reflect on the things that are actually important to me and to focus on those things more than I did before. Spending time with family is, of course, the most significant of them, but I've also started prioritizing time to indulge my hobbies and interests. I'm spending more time reading and writing and have been exploring the countryside nearby by walking more in my local area. Most recently, I began translating my favourite Old English poem, The Phoenix, into present-day English, something I've not done since I studied medieval literature at university. Hearing Old English read aloud always makes me happy, so I'd like to finish now by reading the first 10 lines of The Phoenix, which begins by introducing the earthly paradise in which the Phoenix lives. Habba it je frunen zat is fair henen eerstalemon adalas londe firm je frege. Nis se folden scheert over middenjaar monger je verre volke gendere, hak hea furred is der methodes merkt man fremmenden. Willitig is se wang eal, winnem je blissad midlem fagrestum foldem stenchum. Anlich is ad iglond, adala se werkte, modig me actum spedig, seth a molden je sette. I have heard that far from here in the regions of the east, there is the most noble of lands, renowned among men. This portion of earth is not accessible to many of the rulers across the world, for it is removed from the sinful through the power of the Lord. The whole plain is beautiful, happily endowed with the fairest fragrances of earth. That island is singular, noble the maker, magnanimous, abundant in powers, who created that land. Take care, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Good news from Susan O'Sullivan, Birmingham City University. Please do pause this recording. Let's take a closer look at the slides. So this little recording will have 3 parts. The first part will focus on the published article, the crafty coffees element of the article. The second part will be events for live colleagues. And the third, gardening activities. So the article referred to a study. And the study found that there was a general agreement that regular scheduled online meetings helped reduce the feelings of isolation, maintained a sense of a collegiality for those working from home. As well as the challenges, there was a number of changes. And these changes may have made life more intensified. And for some, they may have experienced feelings of disconnection. So, as a response to circumstances, the crafty coffees were developed, inspired by the work of Kirkwood et al., with a particular focus on connection. Okay. So, some examples of the craft work from the crafty coffees. And the crafty coffees still continue. And some feedback received. So please do pause this recording. I'm just going to pick up on the last few words referring to a sense of togetherness. Generating a sense of togetherness would seem to have been well received and inspired by the crafty coffees. More scheduled, synchronised, connecting and collegial activities were planned. So we had a Ho 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 Hot Chocolate, December 2020, Chomping Chocolate Chatter, that was March 2021, around Easter time. Then we had the Great Library Quiz, June 2021. All online. The feedback has been very positive. The events have been very well received. And on screen, just show just one example of the feedback received. The third part, gardening activities. So currently, I'm having a go at propagating roses, and there's signs of life. So just offering some references.